folks, it's about to get real up in here. I have just got in the mail my soft parts for my Boba Fett cosplay. I couldn't be happier. So a couple months ago, Matt from the Fett Armory reached out to me. He said, "Hey man, I really enjoy your channel. I see you're building a Fett cosplay from The Mandalorian Season 2. I want to build you the vest. Can I please build you the vest? I don't want anything in return. I really like your channel." And so I'm like, well yeah, of course. So this is awesome. So this is the vest here, and frankly, this is beautiful. Look at the stitching. Quality is insane. I am super happy. So how this vest works is it's two pieces. This is an undershirt here. I don't know if I can get this off. I might have to. Might have to call my son in to help me take this off. Oh, I could do it. Oh, I got it. Bear with me. Got it. It's two pieces. So you have the outer vest here. And then you have an undershirt with the sleeves that you mount the shoulder belts to. So that will go on there. And then you have the back zipper. Every single time, I never set my lights up right, but that's okay. So yeah, he hooked me up something fierce. He even has a little port for my little digital ticker thing. But how awesome is that? I sent him my my dimensions, as a fabricator would say, my dimensions. And it comes and it fits perfect. So I am super pumped. And then as you can see, I got his first pair of Boba Fett pants. And they're awesome. It's super comfy. He's got the nice Velcro here. And then there's a zipper on the side that you can't see right here. And anyway, I'm pumped. So this video is going to be, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to mount my armor to the vest and shirt here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. He's going to give me a code for 10% off his website for you guys, for anybody watching the video. So I'll get that here in the outro, and then yeah. So I want to show you guys how to get how I mount my armor to my vest and stuff like that. I know I've done this before in The Mandalorian, but I thought this would be an awesome way to show my super appreciation for hooking me up with the vest. Is it just to do a video all about him, which I'm excited about. So I'm gonna get out of here and get into my real clothes. Oh yeah, this is stretchy too, by the way. So it's I don't know exactly what the fabric is, but it's a non-stretch like here, and then this is all stretchy. So it's really comfy. Really comfortable. Anyway, I'm gonna get changed, and then we'll get started putting the armor on here. And then we'll be getting close. I've got all my parts except for my hand pads, my hand armor, which has been a nightmare. But yeah, somebody else from my Patreon channel may be hooking me up with some. So Ed's gonna hook me up. Anyway, so yeah, let me get changed and we'll get rolling. All right, let's get some armor mounted on here. How I get started here is I have all my templates printed out 1-to-1 on paper. And these will have all the mounting points. Here. See, these were where all the mounting points are. So where all my bolt holes are. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all cut out, and then I'm going to tape them to my vest, and then I'm going to hole punch out where those holes land. And that way I can tape them on here, get my spacing all figured out with the paper templates, and yeah, so I can position them all where I want them, punch the holes, and then when I put the actual plates on there, it should be reasonably close. I know not everybody has paper templates drawn up. These are all available, by the way, over on my Patreon page. So if you're wanting to do just a custom Mandalorian or a Boba Fett or something like that, it's a $5 tier. You can get access to all these templates. But what you can do is take a bunch of masking tape and tape over the top of your plates with a bunch of layers, probably 2 or 3 layers. Razor blade, cut it nice and perfectly around your edge. Peel it off, and then you can start placing those on your, you can put your vest on and position those taped plates on yourself. And that way, if you're using like Chicago screws, you can pop the holes exactly where you want them, and you use those afterwards to put it on. Or if you already have them in there, pop them in there so you know, or draw them in there where you know, and you can put them on. And that way, spacing is important. You don't want your plates looking all wonky, where you've got, these like this or like this or like this. It just doesn't look right. So that's why I like doing it this way. So what I'm going to do right now is going to go ahead and get my templates kind of all out, and then we'll get them taped on here and we'll punch some holes. Now for the back armor, since he's got I typically on my vests, I do Velcro on the side so I can open them, so I can mount the back. But like with Boba Fett, you can't have that seam here and all that stuff. So I'm trying to think of a way on how to do this. How I did it on Din is I did half Velcro, half mount. And what I'm thinking is I may make a plate that will bolt to the front collar and kind of come through, or I can pop my Chicago screws here through that plate when it's off and have somebody bolt them on, and maybe down here too, and that way. Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna have to wing it. So I'm gonna get this stuff cut out and we'll continue from there. Alright, now comes the hard part. I figured you guys didn't really need to see me cut out a bunch of paper templates, but I'm now going to try to lay this out on my vest, getting it centered up, getting it nice and neat, using the seams on the sides, and yeah, this is the hard part. Because if you mess this part up, your plates don't look right. So we'll give it a shot. Now, like on my paper templates, I actually had to change this upper 2 holes. To a single. So I'm gonna go ahead and only do the bottom 2, and then I'll have to feel by hand and mark that with a Sharpie and then punch them out for that one up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rolling on that. So let's go. Now I should jump in with this caveat. You want to start with the collar first and work your way down, because of how that fits on your collar is important. Because if you work yourself up, you might end up with that collar down here or funky. So start with the collar. Alright, how does that look? Have to go over and check myself out in the mirror here, but pretty decent. I'm trying to use screenshots to do your spacings as near possible with this costume. I feel like they're shifting and going all over the place, just like the original. But I like to at least try to attempt to get them looking really nice, because it does make a big difference in the costume when you're walking around and you have your arms down flat or whatever. I know when you raise your arms, everything crunches together, but at least if you start off at a good spot, you'll usually end up at a good spot too. So I'm gonna go check myself out in the mirror real quick just to give it a close-up view because I can't really tell up here in the mirror. And then we will punch some holes. Maybe get some armor mounted. I am pretty happy with that, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop the holes in here. How I do that is I get a hammer, a board and a hammer and a hole punch. And I'll have to do this on the floor. And I'll have to go get a hammer. All right. It's time to pop some holes. That means it's hammer time. Woo! So I got a hole punch, hammer, and a board. And I'm gonna do this on the floor. So I'll try to move this crap out the way here. And now, this is a concrete floor. There's carpet over the top. But if you're doing this at home, you want to do it on a solid surface. Otherwise, you're going to be making a lot of noise and not getting a whole lot accomplished. I'm going to shift the camera down here so you can kind of see what's going on. How's that? And you want to make sure, like if you're doing it inside of a shirt, obviously you want to put your board. Now this is open like that, but you don't want to be popping a hole all the way through your garment. Or you want to go all the way through the first layer, but not the second layer. Alright, first one I'm going to do is up here, top corners. If you got a used board like me, you want to make sure you have a nice fresh piece of wood underneath. Just like that. There's a hole popped right through there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get all the rest of these popped. And we will start bolting armor on. Alright, got all my holes popped. So I'm going to do, before I start bolting the armor on, is I'm going to do the shoulder bells on the shirt real quick. Go through that with you guys. And then I'll need to figure out, kind of get the collar where that other hole needs to be. And there's actually another hole that I haven't put in here yet that's on the chest plates that I added after the fact, so I want to get those in, and then we'll get bolting. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. Finally getting my armor. All right, let's get the shoulder bells on there. All right, I'm gonna show you how I got my shoulder bells on here now. I guess I didn't print out the templates for these, but that's no problem. I kind of looked at my screenshots, and I feel like these things need to be sitting like kind of flush with this third little seam somewhere in here. And how I'm going to do this, I'm going to lay the shoulder out flat-ish. Actually, may bump it up slightly. Kind of make sure I'm sitting centered over the shoulder, because he's got these nice seams. How can I show this? See that? Seams, he's got a seam here and a seam here. So I'm going to try to center those seams, because that should be the center over top of the shoulder. Pretty nice. So I'm going to try to split that. And then I'm just going to press real hard. Like when I have this where I want it. I'm just going to press really hard on my PEM studs on the other side there. And then I'm going to lift up, and they're marked on there. And I'm just going to hit them with the Sharpie before they disappear. And they should be good. My wife is my hero. She knows I'm in a pinch, so she just ran out and got me the glue that I needed that I thought I had, but I got all ruined. So, yay! Hooray for wives! So yeah, I got those all marked out. You can see the little things, and that's just pressing hard. Now, those little dots will go away over time. They'll kind of rest back out. That's why you got to hit with the Sharpie pretty quick after that. So I'm going to do the other side here. And then hopefully, when I bolt them on, they'll be sitting where they need to be sitting. Just want to show this shirt off. Well, it's off my body. But see all the nice seams. He's trying really hard to get him to match the screen as possible. It'll probably evolve over time, just like, because there's not a whole lot of content like still shots and all that stuff of Boba Fett, really nice ones yet. I'm assuming when the Book of Boba Fett comes out, the costume will probably be different anyway. But he's going to keep on evolving his stuff to try to be as screen accurate as possible. So this, like I said, this is nice, comfy, stretchy material. This is that hard, like, you can see the grain structure and all that stuff. Yes, look at the stitching. It's just super nice. I can't believe he... Anyway, I'm over the moon over this stuff. As you can see, I like made my soft parts for Mando, and they're okay. I'm not gonna dog my work, but it's not to this quality. So when you can find somebody that do soft parts really well, they're a treasure, honestly. And there's lots of them around. But like I said, this guy was willing to reach out to me and say, hey, I want to make you something. And I couldn't be happier. So anyway, I'm going to get this other one marked, get the holes punched in here, and then I'll probably move back over to the vest, get those other holes in there, and we'll get mounting armor now that I've got the glue to do it. So alright, I'm going to get my holes popped in here, and then I'm going to get my other holes popped in there. I don't know, I'm basically going to do exactly what I just did here on those, and then I'll show you guys how to bolt on the armor, how I bolt on my armor. And it can relate somewhat if you're going to do a PEM screw, a PEM stud. Like I understand there's not a whole lot of people doing PEM studs out there, but with Chicago screws, this will work perfectly. And then however, like bolts or whatever you're doing, this should work for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these holes in here, and then we'll get on to the next step. All right, it's armor time. So how I do this is I've got E6000 glue. I've got washers, which you can get washers from like Menards or something, or maybe I'll try to find some on Amazon, maybe, so you can get them in the mail if you need to. And I go ahead and put a bunch of E6000 glue on. I go ahead and put on the PEM stud, bolt it down, tighten it down, and just leave it. Now, it's a bonus if the washer sticks to the material, but it's not necessary. Basically what you're doing is creating a glue washer on the inside of the thing to keep the threads from fraying out. So if you do this and you take your armor off and the washer pops off, it's not a big deal, because you'll notice all the glue set up on the inside of the material, and it's going to hold all that material from fraying out. So I've got my washers that I glue on, the nuts, I just have jet nuts, and yeah, my 3/8 ratchet to ratchet it down. So I'm going to just start gluing and bolting, and yeah, we'll almost be there. The back plate I still have to figure out, so we'll have to figure that out together, but at least I'll have the front stuff bolted on. So let's get started doing that. awesome is this? Get my ticker going. Yeah, so I'm pumped with that. Wish it wasn't so chubby, but hey. Fits nice and tidy. Now, I gotta figure out the back plate. I think what I'm gonna do is pin it to one side normally with the PEM studs down here. And then this other side, I may just put the hole there and get a big washer nut thing to screw down. And then up here, I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm gonna think on that, and then I'll be back on here to kind of show you what I'm gonna do. But progress so far. All right, I'm gonna kind of wing this back plate. I'm not sure. I got my vest stuffed with a couple pillows. I'm gonna make sure I get these two top plates mounted right up next to the collar, so it's one piece. I'll get those holes in, and then I'll see about getting these bottom holes in. I'm thinking if I can get these mounted, I might be able to unzip it, get this over top of my head, and have the back plate kind of flop in there, and then have somebody zip up the back and put these bottom two screws in the thing. So that's how I'm going to try to do it right now. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. But yeah, so I'm going to mark these with the Sharpie, get these stamped out, and get it hanging there, get the vest on probably, and then try to mark the bottom holes. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright, so I got my holes marked. One of them ended up right on the seam, and you don't want to punch a hole in the seam, so I'm actually going to shift them back a little bit, so hopefully it won't make it look too wonky. So I'm going to get the holes punched in here, get those bolted down, and we'll see if I can get it over top of my head. Alright, so I went ahead and just used all the same process I did to mount the front, to mount the back. These are pinned on here and here, and also pinned on right back here. Now, the problem is I can't get it on the way it is. But I'm going to let this sit and let the glue dry on the washers, because I think what I'll have to do is actually take this bolt off and this bolt off, and I can actually get this on with it pinned here. So I'm going to leave these alone, and I'll be able to get this on, and I'll have to figure out a way to have somebody reach up underneath here and screw those down, I guess, is what the thought is at the moment. But I can't really test that until the glue is dried. So I'm going to go ahead and let the glue dry on that, and I will be back when I get it figured out. How cool is that though? I'm super thrilled. And like I said, this vest is awesome. It's super thick. It's actually like 3 layers, I think. So there's a layer here, another layer, and then another layer he has padding the whole entire vest. So it gives it look like a ballistic feel. So yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, I'm gonna let that set up, and then I'll be back. All right, my friends, we are now post PopCon. As you can see, I've got my armor put together. And I'm going to show you how I went about getting the back plate attached. So over the weekend, I had the 2 little PEM studs in the back there. People were trying to put the little screws on. It sucked. It was all a pain in the butt, but we got it figured out. So I'm going to show you what I did and my final solution on how the back plate attaches. But this kit was awesome. I had 3 different people in the costume. I had myself, my buddy Hunter, and my buddy Justin. All 3 different body types, and the kit actually fit really well on all 3. It looked right, so this is a really, really fantastic kit just because, more or less because of the soft parts, like the pants are so baggy, everything fit, and just how the plates fit on the different characters in the show makes it, yeah, it was pretty awesome. Like Hunter, he's around 6'1", 6 foot. I'm around 5'9", 5'10", and Justin's around 5'7", I think. So those 3 different, and I'll clip in the pictures of the finished kit in this video so you can see what I mean. But it was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed walking around with it, and man, the soft parts, like I said, were amazing. Wearing these pants, it's almost weird compared to Din, because you don't feel like you're wearing any pants. They're so loose and flowy, and the air flows through them, and you're walking around and you're just like, ooh, am I wearing pants? So these were awesome. So I just want to give you a close-up of how these are made. Turn my light again. I swear I don't do that on purpose. But you have like a front sash. Let's see your front sash back. Where's it? It's so hard to conceive of what's going on here. So you have, so it's actually, I originally thought that Boba Fett had like a skirt on, but it's actually a pair of pants. And there's two different sashes. There's a front sash and a back sash. And then what you have are two really, really baggy legs that are kind of attached, the crotches all the way down here. So it makes for a really comfortable pair of pants. And how Matt designed this is there's a zipper actually here on the side that you can, it's easily zipped up. It hides really well, especially with when you're wearing your belts and stuff like that, so that's not noticeable. And then on the back you have, like, it's a stretchy waist-ish, or no, it's not. But these are, you're able to like really snug the pants up around yourself. So they were super comfy. They fit and look perfectly. So I'm really happy with these pants. So I just wanted to show you guys those up close and personal. Yeah, so I'll show you what I did. If I can get this off. All by myself. There we go. Alright, so what I decided to do on my plates here is I made more or less like a jeans button with that screws on and off all those PEM studs. And I went ahead and I put a slot, like a jeans slot, here in the vest. Now I'm ultimately going to go in here and buttonhole that with my sewing machine so it doesn't tear out. But that right there makes this so much easier than trying to screw on that thing on the from behind, like trying to do it by myself or have people help me. It was just a big pain. So this is a better option that works really well. So yeah, that was the final. I'm just gonna leave it attached up here. Really like that attached up there because it keeps the front collar and the back plate semi close together where they're kind of meeting up there. Like I said, I had to back them off slightly. So anyway, I'm super happy with this vest. It held up really well. You can tell that it's made really, really well. Thick materials. It's heavy duty. Like I said, the undershirt super comfortable because of the flex in the chest. And the arms. I had to remount this shoulder bell slightly up from originally just because it was too far down. I wanted my shoulder bell sitting slightly underneath that, like in the show. So yeah, that's how I attach my armor to my vest. Showing off some cool soft parts by the Fett Armory. I did talk to him. We are now, like I said, post PopCon in the 10% off code. If you go to Fett Armory, I'll actually link the website below. There's a website, and I think he's got an Etsy store. I'll try to put all those links in there, so if you want to go and check out his stuff, it's at the Fett Armory. Let me actually, I'll look on my phone and tell you exactly what it is, because I'm brain farting right now. I'm sure you guys never brain fart, but I do all the time. Alright, so here we go. 10% off is Welding Geek 10, all capital letters. And then his website is www.fettarmory.com or www.etsy.com/shop/Fett Armory. And I'll put that stuff in the description so you can have easy access to that. He's going to hook you up with 10% off his soft goods. Yeah, like I said, he wanted to hook me up with a vest. He asked for nothing in return, but I'm like, you know what? I need to show people how I mount my armor anyway. I'm going to do a cool video for you just out of appreciation. He's like, oh, that'd be awesome. and let me get you a code so people, if watch it, they can come over to my stuff and get 10% off. Give you guys a little break. So, like I said, he's an awesome guy. I'm super impressed with the quality of his parts. I'm hoping we can work together in the future on other stuff. Super pumped that he reached out to me. So yeah, let him know I sent you if you do that, and yeah, that way you might want to hook me up with more stuff. Always up for getting hooked up, right? Anyway, what do we have coming up in the future? I've got the helmet build. It's done. So I'll have the helmet build video. I will have the paint video for the helmet. I will have, I don't know what else I have on that. I'll also have probably 3 different videos from PopCon, because I wore this for a day, and I'll probably cut together that. I will have a Darth Revan video finally for you guys. I hooked up with my buddy Hunter, and he was in his Star Killer, and I was in my Revan. Excuse me. Just caught some dust in the throat there. He was in his Star Killer, I was in my Revan, and we did some walk around the con. Maybe I should cut this. No, I'm just gonna keep on punching through. And my buddy David Gall, who's actually a cinematographer, like a guy that does camera work. He did the camera work for us on that, which is awesome. And then of course I've got my Din, which I was fortunate enough, we got to induct Emily Swallow into the Mandalorian Mercs, and me dressed up as Din Djarin, and a couple other Mercs, we got to escort her over to our little booth area, induct her in, and then we didn't have the plaques the day after. We got to present her with the plaque, so I got some cool video of that too. That was a lot of fun. So those videos will be coming here down the road. What else? I got helmet build, helmet paint. Yeah, I've just been taping and pushing really hard to get done for PopCon. So now that that's out of the way, I should be dropping some videos here pretty consecutively for the next at least 3 or 4 weeks. And then right now I'm working on the drawings for the gauntlets, so I'm going to make metal gauntlets, because after trooping with non-metal gauntlets, I'm like, I can't do this. I need metal gauntlets so I don't have to worry about breaking and cracking and doing all that stuff. So yeah, I've got a Patreon account if you want to support my channel and keep me going. A $5 tier will give you access to all the templates. The templates for the helmet will be available after the first video, the fabrication video drops for that. Those will be available on my Patreon. The Boba Fett templates, these templates are available now over there. I've got my Din Djarin templates. I've got a Bo-Katan helmet templates. Any build that I have up, I've been putting those templates onto my Patreon account to give you guys access to those templates at the $5 tier, and to give me a little cash flow to do this channel, because it's pretty expensive. And then there's a $10 tier where I'll give away something every once in a while. One of my builds that I don't necessarily need, or if I'm not building stuff, just to build stuff. Like I give away one of my Revan masks that I made too big. It's still a beautiful build, all metal, and I've got stuff like that that I've kind of given away to that tier as a thank you for that little extra $5 those people are willing to give me. So yeah, make sure you head over to my Patreon account. You'll get some access to cool stuff. What else is going on? Yeah, I've got a couple different avenues that I'm thinking about going down. Like I said, I really want to build Echo, so we'll see. I got to get into the research phase of that to see if that's even possible out of metal, especially that helmet. The helmet's crazy. So yeah, this is a fun build. Make sure you head on over to the Fett Armory, check out our soft goods. I'm super stoked with that. I hope this video is enjoyable, and I hope you stay tuned and join in for more stuff coming down the road. Boba Fresh was an awesome kit to wear, and I can't wait to share those videos with you guys. Anyway, my name is Matt Schwartz, and I'm Welding Geek. Thanks for watching, and yeah, let's have some more fun. Let's go, guys.